All right, folks, we got some big XRP events coming soon. Now, will it lead to price action? Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I'll let you guys comment on that down below and let me know what you guys think. But I don't want to make you have to watch the whole video, so let's just get right to it. Here's the 4 things that I'm watching out for in particular. So first off is going to be the lawsuit conclusion. That's on October 7th. If the SEC or Ripple hasn't appealed, case is done. Brad Garlinghouse said just a couple weeks ago that it's going to be weeks, not months, till the stablecoin goes live. So I'm predicting that the stablecoin RLUSD, set to be issued on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, will be going live sometime between now and Ripple's Swell conference, which is just 1 week after that SEC appeal window expires. That's on October 7th, and then Ripple Swell October 14th and 15th. Then the 2 other things I'm going to be watching out for at the Ripple Swell conference, they got a stacked lineup of the who's who in the world of finance, banking, and also cryptocurrency. And so I'm going to be watching for a conversation around the ETF. Are we going to get any? Now, I don't think that we're going to get an ETF announcement like, hey, so-and-so's here to announce that they are launching an ETF. But what I think we're going to get is some joking, some laughing, some hinting at an ETF that is around the corner. I know some people still think that we'll never get an XRP ETF. I think the Grayscale Trust that they just fired back up is showing you that they're heading in that direction, right? The first step to the ETF is you create the trust, just like they did with Bitcoin, and then you roll the Bitcoin Trust over in the Bitcoin ETF. Same thing's going to happen with XRP. Same thing's going to happen with the Grayscale Large Cap ETF fund, which includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and a few other cryptocurrencies. Starts as a trust, going to roll into an ETF, and there's going to be many ETFs, I think, that actually include XRP. And then the final thing that I'm going to be watching out for, and I'm going to hone down in this video, is tokenization on the XRP ledger. So we're going to be talking about that, talking about bringing 30 to 50 trillion to the XRP ledger. And so the reason why I'm excited is because, you know, the haters and the naysayers and those crypto police, right, the Twitter police and everybody, they want to shut us down for talking about tens of trillions coming onto the XRP ledger. But we got a gentleman, the CEO of Archax, Graham Rodford, who talked about 30 to 50 trillion coming on the XRP ledger, and Ripple's pulling him right up on stage, right? So we got these folks that say, oh, we need to shut down the Riddlers. The Riddlers are hurting the community. The crazy hypesters are hurting the community. Well, I don't see Ripple shying away from the riddles, and I don't see them shying away from bringing up CEOs who talk about bringing 30 to 50 trillion on the XRP ledger. So if you want to find out more, well, stick around for this whole episode. Let's get right on into the markets and where we're starting out here today. And we're going to take a look at gold to get the party started because gold is doing so well. The chart just looks fabulous. Here we're just looking at today's action. And as you can see that gold is holding that $2,661 price here on the futures. What a run. Now coming back down is the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow Jones, all red on the morning so far as we open up. We'll continue to watch. That traditional equity market, I think, is due for a correction. And I'd watch out for Bitcoin here too. Needed to break 65 until then. Not getting excited. Ethereum 26.25. And then XRP is the only crypto that we find in a unique position where it could go at any time, right? We did get a false breakout right here above the trend line, and we still need to see more. That didn't quite get us excited. It wasn't a clean break, but we got a little wick through. And so XRP's coiled up in its decision time, which is what I'm excited about. And I think that so many of you guys are excited about. It's like, just give us the answer. Just let us know. Is XRP going to do something or not? Once this case ends, there's no more excuses for why we will not be performing, right? And you won't be able to say that XRP suppressed. And so we'll get to see what's going to happen. We'll have a legitimate stable coin coming to the XRP ledger through Ripple. There won't be any more excuses. It'll be game time. So we'll get to see. Now, I want to get into the news here, though, and show you this. An example of just how ridiculous it is. Of course, we talk about the government holding back Ripple and XRP and the broader cryptocurrency space, but that's just an example here. I got another one here for you of how ridiculous this really is. This is Elon Musk commenting saying that we need multiple fish licenses to launch a rocket, actually. So the public is not aware of the madness behind getting a rocket launch approval. Currently, the limiting factor for SpaceX for Starship launch is regulatory approval. The FAA is actually giving their approval, but we're waiting for Fish and Wildlife to finish their analysis and give their approval. That's why I posted that I wanted to buy a fish license, which also refers to the Monty Python sketch. Like, why do you need a license for your fish? I don't know. According to the rules, I'm told you need some sort of fish license or something. We effectively need a fish license to launch a rocket. Now, kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke there, but you get the point. And I talked about this with the IRS just a couple weeks ago. They bragged about collecting $1 billion of folks that had misreported or not paid their taxes, but their budget went up $80 billion. So it took $80 billion to collect $1 billion, and the government acts like it's a success. And now we're talking about sending men, women, they, them to Mars. But before we do that, let's make sure that we don't damage the fish stream. Right. So that's, a good example. Now, speaking of what our government's up to, we have U.S. lawmakers planning for a possible mass casualty event, proposing a constitutional amendment to replace members quickly and change various lines of succession in a national crisis. Now, this reminds me of the show Designated Survivor. I was a huge fan of that show, and I thought that there was some little hints, little drops in that show that kind of show that, that might be one of the playbooks, might be part of the script for whoever's running this show. We'll continue to watch and report on that one. But in D.C., we are supposed to be seeing the SEC commissioners, along with Gary Gensler, testifying today, and that should be starting up right about now as I record this update. But apparently tomorrow's oversight hearing that was supposed to take place with Gary Gensler as a witness has been postponed. A new date and time is to be decided. Capitol Hill staffers tell me they don't know yet the reason for the change. So we got a hearing going on today with the Financial Committee, and that's going to be with all of the 5 commissioners, including Gary Gensler. And so I don't know if Gary got cold feet, if he's not feeling so well. I apparently he's still showing up for today, but tomorrow has been canceled. So is it Gary? Is it, I can't imagine that the Senate banking and the banking GOP would want to let Gary Gensler pass up on this opportunity. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Maybe it was just going to be too much attention back to back, right? To go in front of Congress with all of the commissioners today and then go up solo tomorrow. Gary Gensler knew he was setting himself up, right? He was going to get lit up today. He was going to have his own commissioners siding probably with politicians saying, yeah, our friend over here, Gary Gensler, has been messing up. He has been stifling regulation. He has been doing a bad job. And so he's going to get beat up today. He was going to get beat up tomorrow. Gary Gensler backing out, slithering away like the little snake he is. We'll see if he comes back, though. Now, I wanted to show you guys this because this is why I'm so excited for this bull run. Despite the volatility, the chaos, the correction for the before the election that I talk about, this is what I'm looking at to pump our bags next, along with regulations for the broader cryptocurrency space, of course, the next liquidity cycle and what it's going to take to get a response. It's just like a drug addict, right? You need more and more each time to keep on achieving that high. Same thing's taking place with the money printing in our government. The law of diminishing returns kicks in big time now. So from 2008, they printed $3.5 trillion over the course of 12 years, kept interest rates at the lowest level in 5,000 years, and that's how you saved us and got us out, pulled us out of the great financial crisis. Then 2020 came along. It took more, and it took it even faster, right? It took a bigger hit, and it needed to be delivered quicker. $5 trillion over 4 years, over a third of the US dollars in existence were created during this time. 2024, they'll have to print $10 trillion over 1.5 years. So this time around, they're going to have to do a gigapump of $10 trillion over 1.5 years to get results that will not even last as long. That won't be as effective, but it's what they're going to have to do no matter who gets elected to be able to pay our bills and to keep this thing afloat and to respond to the crisis that is right around the corner, that's breaking, that the masses aren't actually able to see, right? Notice how the boom cycles are getting shorter, 2 times more money printing for 3 times the shorter cycle. And then this is the slow death, right? But why am I so excited about this? Because that's another 10 trillion being created, being pumped, that's going to prime all risk on assets. And in fact, the People's Bank of China, they just went dovish. They just provided a 50 basis point rate cut. They provided over $1 trillion of stimulus, and they're lowering the mortgage rates across the board for all homeowners, or for a lot of existing mortgages across the country too. So People's Bank of China coming in here, along with our Fed making the decision last week. And then next, the money printers get turned on no matter who gets elected. And this time around, we're looking at 10 trillion over 1.5 years. It's going to take a big hit for us to wake up from what's about to smack us in the face, which is the looming recession, World War III, civil war, and any other events that they're going to throw in the mix that we're looking at right now. Now, speaking of the debt here, I want to show you guys this. Trump went from saying that he'll pay off the debt with Bitcoin to now crypto. Now, this is him at his trading card event. Everybody asked, or everybody who bought his trading cards, right, got to come have the dinner with him. And so they're asking him a question here about something in regards to Bitcoin or crypto. And he talks about paying off the debt with crypto. But something that I've noticed, right, even at the last stop that he made where he was handing out the burgers, he bought burgers and pop for everybody at the place, and they wanted him to call it Bitcoin burgers, right? And I think he was calling it crypto burgers. And I noted how Trump doesn't want to become a Bitcoin bro. And now in this one, he's talking about not just paying off the debt with Bitcoin, but paying it off with crypto. And I'm going to be talking about this more in another episode about the connections between Trump's White House, those around him, with Ripple, because we need to revisit that as he gets ready to come back into office. And by the way, in yesterday's video, I made a joke once again, Kamala coming out and supporting or saying that she's going to encourage cryptocurrency. And I joked about how we're all going to have to vote for her now. Please, everybody, pick up on my sarcasm. You can probably assume by now, if you know me and can read through my jokes and sarcasm, that I'm not going to be voting for her. She could come out and say that she's going to, drop the, she could drop every case. She could say she's going to do everything in the world. I'm not a one issue voter. So even if she became the most bullish on crypto, said that she wanted to make Bitcoin the reserve, make XRP the reserve, and wanted to pump our bags, I probably still wouldn't be, well, I know I still wouldn't be voting for her, right? There's no circumstances in this reality, there's no possibility of me ever voting for her. So I wanted to make that message clear, because some people aren't catching my sarcasm, and they're actually getting ticked off at me in the comments saying, if you keep covering Kamala and going to that side, I'm never going to support you. And no, that just to be clear, that will never happen. I will never vote for her. I just wanted to get that point across for you guys. Now, more on that later, though, as far as Trump and his connections to Ripple. Let's talk Ripple XRP and what's coming, the big events that are coming for XRP. So this is a report on tokenization from marketsable.com, noting Ripple and Archax tie-up and the centrality of Ripple's Medico acquisition in it. The claim, quote, to tokenize hundreds of millions in real-world assets is repeated from the original PR. So, this is a partnership that many people are kind of aware of, and we've kind of seen these numbers floating around here. They originally are talking about tokenizing hundreds of trillions in real-world assets, but I'm going to play the clip here shortly showing you guys that Archax CEO, Graham Rodford, not only is he going to be speaking on the power of tokenization in the digital era with the CEO and co-founder of Securitize, Carlos Domingo, he's going to be up there with Vice President of Business Development of Ripple, James Wallace, along with Andrew Suspect from Northern Trust. They're going to be up there speaking about tokenization and digital assets, right? But recall that this is the same CEO here, Graham Rodford, who talked about tokenizing and bringing 30 to 50 trillion all on the XRP ledger trading on Archax. So Archax, along with some of these other companies that Ripple's working with, they're working on building bridges to other chains using the EVM sidechain with Persist. Archax is going to be helping with this tokenization process as well. Here's the original clip that I'm going to play for you guys so you can hear it from him yourself. And I'm just pointing this out here because, remember, the crypto police, the XRP haters, they all want to come at us and say that we're crazy for talking about tens of trillions coming on the XRP ledger, right? And now we need to be shut down and deplatformed for hyping up XRP so irresponsibly. Well, somebody should stop Graham Rodford before he takes the stage at Ripple Swell Conference, because they're bringing him right on up. And they better, while they're doing it, they might as well bring up the cartoon bear as well. Maybe bring up Bearable Guy. Maybe bring up some Riddlers too. We're bringing up dudes talking about 30 to 50 trillion on the XRP ledger. Let's have ourselves a party. Listen in here on the full clip.
No, well, I'm probably a bit more bullish, but I have been for 6 years and slightly behind my original projections. But the total market is 1.4 quadrillion, everything that's ever out there. And if you start looking across any of those asset classes, they're all starting to move on-chain already. And the ease with which we've seen people interested in the money market fund, tokenized treasuries, and those types of instruments, the support for stable coins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, you know, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, you know, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. You know, 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRPL, trading on Artex.
Here we go, $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session.
Now, and that's Marcus Infanger from Ripple. So that's a Ripple guy joking up on stage there with Graham Rodford. He didn't shut him down as, oh, how dare you talk about 30 to 50 trillion coming on the XRP ledger. He didn't stop him. Why didn't he? Why didn't he? You know? Why aren't they stopping the Riddlers? Why aren't they disconnecting themselves from the Riddlers? Why isn't Brad Garlinghouse changing his follower account? He's still following 589 people. Why aren't they stopping this crazy CEO from getting up on stage and talking about tokenizing 30 to 50 trillion on the XRP ledger? They need to calm themselves down here. Slow your horses. Now, I'm sharing this because this is part of the tokenization prediction that I have coming up here for this Ripple Swell conference, where they're going to be making some big announcements as far as the developments that they have with Archax and other partners for bringing real-world asset tokenization to the XRP ledger. You guys know that we're getting more utilities and more amendments are being added to the XRP ledger right now that are giving us programmability and all that type of function that really enables this and makes it more accessible, also in compliance with digital ID, clawbacks, other forms of compliance aspects to it. But the four big predictions are, and he mentioned the stable coins too, it's going to be a big part of that. We've seen a lot of tokenization of T-bills, treasuries, bonds, and stable coins obviously have been massive. We're finally going to get that for the XRP ledger. So the four big events is going to be the lawsuit conclusion, then the stablecoin issuance, and then at Ripple Swell Conference, the two topics that I'm going to be watching for closely is going to be the ETFs and the real-world asset tokenization. And they better slow up Graham Rodford before he gets too excited there on stage. And Ripple Twitter is going to be bringing up some of these clips here once again. And I hope that we can report back on this in the future and say, hey, remember when we were joking about this and we were called crazy about 30 to 50 trillion coming to the XRP ledger, and now it's done, and now XRP sits at, you fill in the blank on what price XRP is going to be at if we get 30 to 50 trillion flowing and parked on the XRP ledger. With that being said, guys, big events around the corner for XRP. Now's the time to stay focused, locked in. A lot of disturbances, turbulence, and chaos on the way for us. So hang tight, stay focused and locked in, but understand that we're right here at the finish line, the grand finale, the final countdown. I'm doing everything I can to get the message out. Like, right now is the time, guys. I know it's been a long time coming. We're all frustrated as hell, myself included, but we're here. This is the make or break point. So we'll get an answer one way or another. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. And on the way out, make sure you guys smack that thumbs up for me. I greatly appreciate that. Subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're new here. And everything can be found on my website, ZachRector.com. We got precious metals, crypto exchanges, wallets. You want to book a one-on-one? It's linked up down below in the description, or everything's at ZachRector.com. We'll see you in the next one. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.